Alright, the next thing we got to talk about is some of these plan views. And I'm going to go ahead and continue using this spiral wall drawing. But I'm trusting you'll be using your house drawing to do some of these exhibits. Let's look at the PowerPoint. It says right here, supposed to be 3D view with camera, walkthrough, add components, and make the submittal interesting. The concept is that you would add things like components and chairs and furniture to make your project complete. What I want to do right here is I want to create some of these views. So I'm going to look at 3D views. Besides the default 3D view, we've got camera and walkthrough. If you saw the other video, you'd notice that down here in the project browser, you have 3D views, spiral walls. Now if I go to 3D views and create a camera, every once in a while it's going to ask you to save.
Gonna go through those steps real quick. So it's going to has a little camera thing hanging around. It's trying to figure out where you're going to put the camera. What if I put the camera here and kind of look, kind of dragging this opening out to the end? What direction it's looking and the view angles that it's going to be able to see. So I can see the edge of the wall if I kind of push it this way. Now if I stop it here, so I get a picture of what that would look like. Down here under 3D views, I have 3D view 1. Separate from the spiral wall view, which is here, but you can see the camera at 3D view 1. So that's one way I can create a camera image of it. If I go back to plan view, interestingly enough, the camera image disappeared. Remember when I was in the 3D view, you could see the camera? Can't see the camera now. How that works is you go to the view that the camera is in, click the edges of the viewport or the view, and it makes it highlighted. Now don't click anything else. Go to another view and you can see the relationship of that particular, what I would call the active view, and how it relates to that view. If I grab the depth of this view, pulled it back, let's pull it back somewhere drastic like there. Now I'm only going to be able to see what's in this triangle. So I go back to the camera and see it cuts out that section of the wall. So it doesn't see past that end. That's what those view parts mean. That's the line work that represents the camera. So I can actually change this view. I can twist the view. Go back to the camera. And it twists it. So I can go back and forth between plan views, 3D views, and the camera view as long as that's selected. Hit the escape key, unselects it. Now when I go to any other view, I can't see the camera. And again, I can name it. Right now it's just called 3D view. I can rename it to camera at spiral wall. Eventually you'll probably want to come up with some kind of naming scheme so you know what all these things are called. The next thing that's in this process is what's called the walkthrough. So let's talk about that. That's one of the coolest things in this program. I'm on the plan view and I create a new walkthrough. I get this particular design. Now I can say I'm going to start here. I'm going to walk in a straight line. I'm holding the click button down. Click. It creates a spiral, which means it's going to always be tangent, as if I'm walking down this spiral wall. You're done. Click finish, and now you get this view. If I edit the walkthrough, I actually go down to walkthrough. See, there's all of a sudden it creates a walkthrough group or folder system. If I go to walkthrough, I see the edge of that spiral wall. And again, same principle applies. Once it's selected, if it's the active view. When I go to any other view, I can see how it relates, how the camera relates to that position. Now, walkthroughs are really interesting. If I go to the walkthrough, I get this particular view. If I go to the top, it shows me that here's the triangle, so I can grab it and slide it. But you can see it's at the end of the walkthrough. Edit walkthrough, and go previous keyframe. It'll jump back from click to click. Okay. Once I'm backed up to the beginning of it, I can play it. Isn't quite what I had in mind. I'm playing in the plan view. I can watch the process and how that person's going to walk through. When I want to stop, I can hit escape. Stop the operation. And it'll go back to the beginning. Okay. If I go down to the walkthrough itself, edit walkthrough, and see, here's another way to change it. Frame is 1 of 300. I can say, well, let's start at frame 50. And then I can jump to that frame. Again, you gotta look at these green highlights. It was on modified cameras, edit walkthrough. Now I can see the command, play. So now as if I'm walking up the spiral wall and pretty much running down the wall. I'm going as fast as I possibly can. Not much excitement here. But you can see parts of the wall and you can see it change. So that's how you edit walkthroughs. Again, you can right click and rename them. This is spiral walkthrough. If I grab spiral, I can duplicate view and duplicate it. So now I've got spiral walkthrough and copy of spiral walkthrough. Once I highlight copy of spiral walkthrough, should be able to highlight it. Okay. Go to level 1. This is not walkthrough, but copy of spiral walkthrough. I can change its perspective. I can move it, as if I'm walking through the wall and then walking through sections of it. Go back to copy of spiral walkthrough and then play that. Edit walkthrough, play. So I should walk right up to the wall and walk through it. And I walk around the back side of it, turn my head, and then see the wall again. Walk through each wall, boom, boom, boom. So that's the easiest way to edit walkthroughs. You can edit it by location of frames. You can start at frame 200, play it at that point. Start a. You want to quit editing? No. Start at frame 1. Play it from the beginning. So hopefully you'll use a little bit of imagination creating your videos in your house as if you're walking through the house. We'll work a little bit later on how to turn your head and look at different things as you go through your walkthrough.